I would argue that climate change and global warming is really a veiled attack on Christianity.
I, 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 okay, go on.
And you might think, well, those issues don't even have anything to do with each other. How are you going to argue that? But I think that global warming and climate change and all this concern about blaming, advanced economies for destroying the planet are really about delegitimizing Western civilization.
Okay.
Christian values and all of the accomplishments of that Christian civilization has produced. Nobody can argue with any rational sense that Western civilization is not the greatest civilization of all time. I mean, when you look at Western civilization, when you look at Christian civilization, it's produced so many advancements. The steam engine, computers, airplanes. We've explored the entire planet. I mean, nobody could argue that there's any civilization that even comes remotely close to the accomplishments of Christian civilization. But the Western or the multicultural leftist elite still hate Western civilization. I mean, they don't care whether or not we did all these great things and we're really the most humane civilization ever. All they care about is just getting rid of Western civilization.
Why would the elite leftists want to get rid of the Western civilization that they live in? Now, I'm not even really going to go into the, West Christians brought about the best stuff and the highest civilization, Western did everything, because yeah, we did quite a few things in the industrial age, but you remember that, like, at the same time that we were in the industrial age and moving and progressing, like, other countries were doing the same shit too. So yeah, it seems like a lot to you, but it's not like, we operate in a vacuum. Everybody else was doing their own thing and they caught up with us too, and you realize we're kind of getting left behind right now. So yeah, no.
So how are they going to do that? I mean, how are they going to convince everyone that Western civilization isn't the greatest thing ever? Well, I would argue the way they do that is by saying you might have done all these great things. The West might have done all these incredible, advanced technologically and, societally and everything, but you did it at the expense of the planet. So basically, you accomplished all this stuff, but you burned out the planet, polluted everybody's stuff, and caused this big environmental catastrophe that is just now destroying the planet. And so instead of arguing that that Western civilization didn't have these incredible accomplishments, they're just arguing that all of their accomplishments are criminal. And I think that's the truth behind global warming and climate change. I mean, it's about destroying Western civilization. It's about blaming people of European descent for all the world's ills. It kind of just goes along with all this other stuff, Americans killed all the Indians. Africa was such a great place before Europeans took it over. That's laughable. Asia was this, great environmental superpower before Western civilization emerged. Everybody lived in peace and sung Kumbaya before Western civilization showed up and dominated the world. I mean, that's their argument. Clearly, none of it is true. But they have to make this argument some way. They've got to destroy Christian civilization somehow. So they're going to do it by blaming catastrophic climate change on Western civilization. And I think that's the real issue behind this whole climate change issue.
This has to be one of the dumbest fucking things I've heard in a long time. And I've watched a lot of videos from G-Man in thick shades. So, congratulations. You've made the top of the list, Christian What? How fucking arrogant do do Christians have to be that the entire world is out to get them? What is it about your us versus them mentality that allows you to think that over the just recently they've shown that they've done 1,300 different studies from across the world, and it shows that there's about a 90% chance or reason to believe that that people, us as human people, throughout our entire time of being here, have increased the greenhouse emissions and all of that stuff. But you want to pass it off as a conspiracy. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why do you think that we have a hard-on for taking out Christianity, and you realize that most or a good portion of the world is some sort of Christian or believes in God? And yes, there are some that are believe in Allah and Buddhism, and that's like your top 3 religious beliefs right there. But why the hell would you think that we're here to try to just get rid of Christianity's values and morals? Oh, the fucking come on. People were having the same values before Jesus and after Jesus, and despite of Jesus. Those things were going on, as you probably should know. The golden rule was not something that Jesus invented. Confucius and all these other people taught that way before him. If you want to talk about morals of Christianity, let's go into slavery and all that good stuff. Of course, that's a different debate. But the point is this. Climate change matters. Climate change is real. We have the evidence that shows it. It has nothing to do with fucking Christianity. Seriously, get your head out of your self-righteous ass. You provide no proof that climate change is not happening while we have thousands of papers that says it does. And all you can do is show a conspiracy theory to try and say that's not true. That's all you have. And that's the best you can fucking come up with. How do you expect people to take you seriously when you say stupid shit like this? And I apologize for the language. I normally don't cuss this much in a video, but when I see this kind of nonsense, I can't help it. What makes you think that Christianity is so important that we would invent a fucking conspiracy about climate change to take down Christianity and Western civilization? It's the whole goddamn world! Everybody is doing this. Everybody is causing pollution. All of these major companies are doing it. You can look at China, you can see that they're doing this now. We don't give a shit about Christianity. We give a shit about the world. We want our kids to grow up in a healthier place, and we're not making that happen right now. Honestly though, have you really thought this out? If people were trying to just cause the downfall of the Western civilization and its economy and all that stuff, that would be a huge effect on the world. U.S. and Europe or Western Europe are a big part of our economy and big part of the UN. If they cause a collapse of some kind, that would cause so much shit that nobody wants to get into. I mean, what we're trying to do is at most help you see that we're fucking up our world, and that if we want to live longer, if we want our kids to have a healthy place to grow up to, and our grandkids beyond that, and so on and so forth, that we have to take care of our shit. God isn't going to do it for us. For people like you that think God is going to come down and take everybody up in the rapture, that's why you're not worried about it, because it's not your fucking problem. But you know what? As Louis C.K. said, you know what? God fucking gave you the world. Why aren't you taking care of it? It's a gift that he's given to you. But to take the 10 talents that they give you and invest it and make money out of it, You Christians are being like the one that was burying the talents under the ground. Why would you do that? This is God's creation, right? This is God's gift to you. He created it for you. He created the entire fucking universe and the world for you. And you're not even going to take care of it? And when somebody says, hey, we're screwing it up right now, we need to change some shit, you're not even worried about it. You think it's a fake or a conspiracy. What the fuck is wrong with you? There is no conspiracy to take down Christianity or Western civilization or anything like that. We just don't want as much pollutants and all that shit in our air so we can breathe better. And so that we don't, or not making species go out extinct because of our waters are getting polluted because we're dumping shit into the water. Your argument comes and stems from a lack of involvement or a complete lack of understanding of what we're doing's effect to the earth. We're not asking for this huge change. We're asking to make small, minor changes, use a little less oil, and get alternative fuels. I mean, what better way for the Western civilization to remain on top is if they come up with more solar panels and shit, and better electric cars. Why don't we get doing that? That can help that whole Western civilization crap you're trying to talk about. Why did you think Christianity is so special that we would try to take it down? Why would we go that route when we've pretty much are already winning the battle just from the battle of atheism in the past 10, 15 years, thanks to the internet? We don't need to go to climate change. We just have to show the logical and reasonable and historical weaknesses that can be found in Christianity. What do you think we're going to go out and attack it with weather? They're not even fucking related. And you said it yourself. But it's that us versus them mentality. And you fucking have it. You need to fucking grow up and learn some shit. This is the Atheist Chef signing off. Peace.